in the bottom left, we do have Jumy, the German Protoss player, playing for Streamer Zone. And in the top right, we do have Reynor, of course, playing for Basilisk. It's been kind of a powerhouse team, of course, in StarCraft 2, and is around for a long time at this point. I want to say about 5 years around, right? Probably. That might be like what we're looking at. I want to say, yeah. No, wait. Shopify Rebellion. I'm not 100% sure, maybe even a little bit longer. But about 5 years, I want to say. They have picked up 3 players and have been constantly supporting them, and they are also doing their Big Brain About series, which is, of course, done by Rotti. And they have that one over there. Now, let's get into this PvZ. And Streamer Zone, of course, has been kind of coming in very late or very recent, kind of coming in very strong as well, trying to sponsor some StarCraft events. I think they're still kind of in the process there, so it's not it's not finished up. They're still in the process of getting that project running. It should probably happen, I hope, early next year. I'm gonna get some more information there probably very soon. And yeah, Streamer Zone, of course, has picked up a lot of players, so they have a bunch of Protoss players, kind of. They have Nightmare, they have SOS, they have Jumy, they have Gerald. I think they have Parting. Parting, though, we haven't really seen compete yet. So we're kind of looking, I'm looking forward to that, to see that if he actually gets on the board and really plays some. Because right now he's just kind of, I don't know what he's actually doing, so I hope he's starting to play some tournaments soon. But yeah, SOS and Nightmare, of course, are quite strong players. Nightmare took a break from StarCraft. SOS had a forceful break because of his wrist injury after the military. So he went to the military and then he had some wrist issues and that needed to take like a rehab break for like a year or something. So he's just back from that, maybe like 1 year or so now, back into his career again. And yeah, so he's still establishing himself, but we've already seen some very, very interesting and cool games from him where he has like mothership rushes and shit like that. So it's really cool strategies again. It just lacks a tiny bit on the execution, but you can see some strokes of brilliance from him here and there. So I'm kind of looking forward to him come back into his old form. Maybe this next year, the upcoming year, or in a couple of years, and you know, be the old SOS again. I hope his wrist does not trouble him too much, but yeah. Now Jumy is gonna commit with the adepts. He's gonna get the first drone and just lucky pop on the drones there for him. He's gonna snipe 3 drones, loses 2 adepts. It's not the greatest, I feel like. Probably had an opportunity to throw out the shades again and might have gotten one out. I don't think so. Like 3 drones, it's not terrible, but it's also not great, so it's like meh. But sometimes you just take the mental edge, where you're like a player like Reynor, losing drones before 4 minutes to just adepts. It's just like something like that he doesn't really do, right? And if you can get that mental edge, sometimes that's a good start to a series. Now we do have a Void Ray first. Jumy's gonna use that to clear around the map. Maybe he made this because he was very afraid of a Queen Walk or something. Void Ray, of course, can be very good, like a Ling All-In or so, because it does not need to be overcharged. But yeah, he moved out with the Void Ray, so now he loses this position. He does not have enough to keep this base alive against 7 Lings. And that's unfortunate, because if the Void Ray would be at home, he could have dealt with that. But now he's across the map. Can he make something happen with this? He's gonna try to go for some drones, but then the Queen moves just in, is gonna walk to the Spore Crawler there and just says like, alright, I don't even need to shoot at you, just need to walk to the Spore and then I can always leash you back into that Spore range. Now Oracle is shooting at Lings, but is not properly controlled. The Void Ray tried to harass the 3rd base, but still has 0 kills, not even killed an Overlord. So again, the base is delayed. It's already past 5 minutes, and usually, like even the Overlord coming in, look at that. He's gonna find, he's gonna see a Twilight, but will he see the Fleet Beacon? He might just, yeah, I think he's gonna see the Fleet Beacon. And that's terrible, because you wanted to keep this hidden. That's the purpose of the Void Ray, and of course the Fleet Beacon is scouted again, so he just throws down the second Stargate. So like, alright, let's cancel it back again. Let's cancel the Fleet Beacon. No, he does not. This could be a mothership. This could be a mothership. He does keep the Twilight as well. He has the Forge as well. I don't think the Forge was seen. No, so the Forge is out of vision. And the extra gateway as well. So he's trying to fake him into, hey, I'm making... Oh, he's actually making Tempest. Hey, I'm making Tempest or any carriers or whatever. But yeah, like look at this base. It's 6 minutes, not even done yet. Usually we have those things set up at like 3:30, 3:40. That's where they start, you know, and then they take, what, 71 seconds, so they finish up at like 4:50. So before 5 minutes usually is when those bases are starting to get saturated. And now we are already 1 minute 20 behind. 1 minute 30. This is so freaking mother effing delayed. It's insane. Look at that. He already has 15 probes. 18 even. He's already oversaturated on this base. And that was the production from 2 Nexi. Usually you start with like 2 probes there or something, and you keep this as well for production. His economy is down in the trash. It's so bad. Now he's throwing his Tempest just across the map because he knows there's not much anti-air except for the Queens, and Tempests are not that slow right now. The Oracle finds a Queen here in the north, but Reynor is just not losing any units. I mean, this is just not enough firepower to really do anything. Like 1 Tempest, 1 Void Ray, 1 Oracle. What are they gonna kill, right? He's not even gonna get the gas. Like, he's just not doing anything really to Reynor. He's damaging things, but that does not extract or create any value, any actual value here right now, as Zerg stuff just regens. Now we do lose the first Tempest. 5 Corruptors should be enough here to snipe this one. Yeah, he's trying to recall, but of course it does not work. Gets even a little bit of damage into the other Tempest here. Gets healed up by the shield battery instantly, but that... What is it? 36 HP is never gonna come back. The Oracle is gonna die as well. Throws down a Revelation. Can he? Oh my god, he's just gonna kill the other Tempest as well here. The army does move out, but there's nothing to defend here. I feel like this game, it's just not going where Jumy wants it to go, and now he has a little bit of aggressive, aggressive potential here. It's only charge slots though. There's no AoE. There's nothing really ranged. So this army is quite weak against roach composition as well. Like, roaches can stand in a single line behind a mineral line, and the zealots just need to fight one by one, but the roaches can shoot like with 7 or so at once. So yeah, this game is so over, man. It was so over when the base got delayed like 3 times, and a Nexus, a third base, Nexus, finishing up at like 6 minute 30 in a game like this where the Zerg was not really having any issues. He lost 3 drones, right? That was it. That's already pretty bad. And then he also needed to cancel the tech and get like something else. The Fleet Beacon was a failed investment. The Tempest didn't do anything, as you can see. That's a dumpster fire of a game. Next we're gonna have Winter Madness. It's kind of funny. Alright, and here we are in Winter Madness. In the bottom right, we do have Jumy. In the top left, we have Reynor. Now let's see if Jumy can actually get a third base up before 5 minutes and if he can kind of get his strategy going. He didn't really get to play his game right. He kind of played very reactive to a lot of failed approaches. He tried a lot of things, but they got like stopped before they even started, kind of, just because of the vision that Reynor created for himself and all of the deflection he was able to do defensively. So Jumy kind of put himself into a corner there in that last game. He was trying something sneaky. Okay, if that does not work, well, what are you gonna do? He tried to do a second sneaky approach behind that, but that did also not work. So sometimes the best thing you can do is just like try to abandon ship and not go into the sneaky thing at all, but just go into your AoE and try to take a defensive approach. Stay back and, you know, try to play the long game if you're, you know, the things you try to do just failed. Reynor pulling out of gas here, just going with the speed. Is going to go into a quick third hatchery. There we go, is planting that one down. He could again try to go for the snipe on the third base. Let's move in some links around to see if there's any proxy shenanigans. Maybe a proxy dark shrine or something funny like that. Maybe a proxy gate. So last time we did see Jumy trade in his adepts, his first 2 adepts, for 3 drones, and he did not have anything. He moved out a Void Ray, which he made first out of his target, and didn't have anything to defend his third base, and that got delayed 3 times. And it was a terrible choice. So now he's again moving in, and he actually throws the shades into the front, so he's kind of committed right now, and he does just get surrounded. He gets 1 drone. In the meantime, we have this one Zergling who got 2 probes behind us, so this is actually already quite bad for Jumy again. He loses the adepts again, he loses the probes behind, but can he this time get his nexus up? 3 minutes 40 seconds, that's kind of the time where you want to take it. He's gonna lose another probe, but he will keep the nexus alive. We do have an Oracle here standing at home playing defense, and that's so crucial. This is already going, even though it's not good, it's way far away from what he tried to do with this opening, but it is way better than what happened last game, where he kind of completely gets smacked on his third base. So if this base gets up and running before 5 minutes, I mean, that's gonna be nice. And he can start to actually get a comparable economy here to Reynor, even though, of course, Reynor, he lost 1 drone, but he has so much freedom right now. Both Oracles standing back. Now finally they can go across the map, but he's already ahead of the Protoss in worker count. And if the Oracles are not perfectly synced up, they're gonna have a difficult time again to get damage done here. Now trying to rotate in, of course there's so much vision here for Reynor, so you will see this a mile away. And he's just moving his queens in some good position. I feel like he could have snagged 1 or 2 drones here on that periphery. A Stalker is gonna defend here, an Adept being warped in behind. We do see a probe dying that was trying to transfer to this third base. But I mean, look at this. 5 minutes and 20 seconds, we already have 7 guys mining here, 8 guys mining here. This tech is starting already. We do have even an AoE tech coming in, Robo Bay. When did he make a Robo Facility? He already has one here. Did he make any units out of this? Not yet. He's just starting his first one, the Observer, so he really wants to get up some Colossi maybe here. This could be a nice approach. There's like a 4-base Colossi all-in you can play with Protoss. A 4-base all-in sounds funny, but it is, because you don't really transition from that. A Stalker, Colossi, and 4 days. Basically, you go up to 2 Robos, and you make, well, 4 Colossi and just Stalkers, and then you just go, and you reinforcement only Stalkers. You can still keep on making Colossi, but the idea is you kind of keep the Colossi alive, and you just blink Stalkers around and kill everything. And, yeah, in the meantime, well, the Zerg has to deal with that, right? Now, on Reynor's side of things, we do see a Spire. The Hydralisk Den is already upgrading Hydra's speed here. We already see a few Hydras coming in. So this is not a roach game. Of course, the last map was a very close map, like a fast to get across. And that does benefit roaches, because they are quite beefy. They are a little bit of an all-rounder. Of course, they cannot shoot air units, but they can actually take some damage from air units and still be alive and deal damage on the ground. So it's like a little bit of a safety all-round unit, but yeah, if you make enough, you can of course push with those and just overwhelm, which happened there in the last game, because Jumy of course was so far behind from those Nexus cancels. Now in this game, of course, this is looking quite different here. We have a gateway wall being set up, which is actually being pressured by Reynor. The Colossus is already here though, so this should not really... Oh my god, he loses the Oracle! No! Jumy a little bit sloppy there, and he loses a gate as well. The Colossus not really moving into position. He's a little bit afraid. He doesn't really have the extra gates right now. He went into a shield battery and cannon into his natural, because he's actually playing this quite afraid. He has a lot of extra... I mean, on the 3rd base, it makes a lot of sense right now. He has a few stasis traps as well. He still has a bunch of Oracle energy, so I feel like maybe even a couple more stasis traps would be nice. Maybe a little bit more forward, you know? They're kind of super defensive stasis traps. They're inside the army. And a Baneling Nest on the way here for Reynor, and he has a 4th base established, running. He's going into a bunch of mutas. It's not too many though. If we take a look at this, this is like 7 mutas maybe? 8, there you go. So, and this shield battery, it's not inside the mineral line. There's no cannon inside the mineral line. This is gonna be a difficult thing to deal here for Jumy. And Jumy did not really get additional scouting information. He has an observer inside the base, but he still does not know about the mutas. That's actually not a good thing. He needed to be more active with his scouting, be a little bit more on point with the mutas here and there. We do see him now throw down like a shield battery and a pylon over here at the 3rd base. He's also not trying to take a 4th base with this right now. And there's the mutas coming in. There's no Phoenix. Like 3 Phoenix would be enough to clear this easily. He's trying to go in with the Stalkers. He blinked into the main, so there's no blink follow-up. The mutas already see this. There is the blink. He's gonna snipe 1 muta. The rest is gonna get away. 10 probes did die to 1 muta falling. This gateway is finally getting reestablished. That was like cancelled ages ago. So we see Jumy is actually... It seems like he's not playing at his best. He's not as sharp in this game, even though he looks way better than the first game. So maybe he gets a good attack put together here. But Reynor, like, he's just looking as strong as ever, right? He's harassing here while the army is basically looking at him. And a few failed blinks. This does not look good here for Jumy. Again, a drive-through here. He's gonna pick up 7 drones, please, to take out. And please make it 1 more with some hot sauce there on top. And behind this we do have... Oh my god, this is so many Banelings. 32, and there's gonna be 28 more. That's gonna be 60 Banelings. 61 even. Wow. There's 3 Banelings per Stalker almost. Now, I said this might be a 4-base all-in. This is not even 4 bases. He's gonna have Archons though with this, which are gonna deal fine with Banelings and soaking up. There's no Ravages. We do have a few Sentries in the mix, so there could be the amazing Master Force Fields. But like, the Oracle is actually very far forward from the army. The army keeps on splitting kind of weirdly. This is like free energy you're basically gifting to Reynor there. And you're also telegraphing, hey, this is where I want to push, right? So Reynor can set up his army. Look at that, he's perfectly split into 3 groups, or 4 groups even. He's still gonna go and harass with the muters. They've killed so many probes at this point. All of the probes he killed were with muters, and it's 26. 4 muters lost, he still has 4 muters alive. Now pushing in though, can this army kind of do the trick? He could force field the right ramp. Oh no, he created some hallucinations. A Phoenix? What did he do there? He used up so much sentry energy, like a full force field wall on one side might have done the trick here, but unfortunately Reynor's coming in from all 4 angles. The right flank already has been decimated. The left flank is very strong still, but this fight, it's not the worst fight here for Jumy. He's still standing strong, but he loses all of his Colossi, he loses most of his Stalkers, and now the Remax from Reynor is just gonna kill and overpower. I feel like there was no stasis, of course, to try and help this one out. Finally it got off there, the 1 stasis only. But yeah, look at that, no Colossus, no AoE damage here left in the army, and this was not a push that had a base behind this. This was a push that was all in. This was 5 Colossi trying to bring the pain to the Zerg, but unfortunately the Zerg just had too many painlings to throw enough pain back at the Protoss. Now shield batteries, all of that static D that was made against the muters is gonna be nice here in helping at least the probes survive, but I mean, he's remaking probes right now. Why would you? He has still 50 probes. It's a decent probe count. He never really went up that high anyways. Like, he was at 56, right? So he is kind of still fully saturated on the patches he has. He just remade a couple probes. I'm not sure why even. It's kind of wasted money if you ask me. He's going again remaking probes, but he's not throwing down a Nexus. He's not trying to establish another base. He's not going into Storm, even though he has the Templar archives. He's not really doing anything right now, and of course you could say like, oh, he doesn't have the money, blah blah blah, but honestly, he just warped in 7 Zealots and a Templar. He is aggressive with 7 Stalkers, which don't have Blink right now and are gonna get killed here. All but 2, the 1 Colossi is walking in front as well, and of course the next wave is gonna come and kill him. I think Jumy, this map is also not gonna be one you will be able to win, unfortunately, here. And Reynor is just looking so solid. He never was too greedy behind this. He's only on 5 bases right now. He didn't go up to like 7 bases or something in the ZVT, right? So well, he's gonna lose these lurkers. That's a nice small win here for Jumy. Maybe he can actually come from a funny angle, but 7 more lurkers finish up are just gonna burrow, and they're just gonna shoot down everything here. Lynx are gonna kill Colossi. Nice micro there with the pickup, so actually they will survive. That was really well done, but unfortunately it's just too much here, and Jumy has to GG. So far 2-0 here for Reynor. Next map will be Tokamak. Just need a moment here. Alright. Is the one. Okay. Best of 5. Reynor is 2-0 currently. Can Jumy? Can he make a comeback happen? I mean, it's almost. It feels like almost as like an impossible task against a player like Reynor. And how would you? Like his target approach, of course. I mean, it's kind of the standard, right? But it feels like He's also denying himself different timings. There's no Twilight crazy shenanigans, for example. There's no, I guess Robo is kind of out of the question, but he could do a very strange curveball, but to see how Reynor deals with that. And he's not trying, he's just going with the Stargate approach, of course. But it does not feel like that's enough. So maybe he needs to twist his execution if he wants to keep on playing what he has been doing. Maybe you want to keep the Adepts back and have the Oracles harass, you know? Have a little bit of a twist there. I mean, he's kind of setting that up for himself right now. He went in 2 times with the double Adept and lost both of them, of course, but he always traded for a little bit. Last time was actually worse than the first time, so maybe he should also see like, oh, Reynor is kind of getting used to what I'm actually doing here with these Adepts, so maybe we want to change it up a little bit. Get the Adepts, have them at third base, defend that one, and have some Oracles actually swoop in and get a couple drones and then just move out again, because that's free damage basically, or kind of just hull damage or whatever, right? You don't pay actual money for that, it's just energy and stuff. Now there is the pinnacle of the Protoss technology, the cybernetics core. Finally Protoss can make units that shoot. And they can do everything else. Every other tech branches of that one. You can make air units, you can make ground units, you can make AoE units, you can make psionic units, you can make invisible units. It all needs the cybernetics core. I mean, they can't even make units that shoot without it, right? They can only make zealots, which are basically like, I don't know, like frenzy dudes who are trying to frickin' knuckle fist fight their way through whatever comes across them. So now this time we do see one Adept again being joined here with a second Adept. Is he gonna throw those in again? It feels like this map does not really lend itself to that, because the mineral line is actually behind the base here. So there's the entrance, right? And then you need to walk all over there. Meanwhile, the Queens and Lings are already shooting at you. So the minerals are really protected here on Tokamak. And there doesn't seem to be like an easy path in. Like, if the mineral would be on the left side here, right? Like this. Then you could kind of move in from here and shoot some and then go back out. But that's just not worth it. So Jumy is gonna keep the Adepts home this time. It's a novelty here. I'm gonna stand ground at the third base, and he has a Oracle. Now, what is he gonna do with this guy? Is he gonna fly across the map? Seems like that's his choice for now. Of course, he needs to be a little bit careful, but yeah, 7 Lings are not going to be enough here to cancel a base against 2 Adepts in a nice position with the shielded battery coming up as well. So he's going to be quite nice and well defended there on that front. The Oracle, though, what can it find? There's nothing really at the third base, nothing exposed. Going into the main, there's actually a few drones trying to transfer. He's going to kill one. Can he get another one? A little bit of mismicro, I feel like. Didn't really get the perfect range there. He gets a good scout though, so he sees the lair is on the way. And yeah. Now we do see the Adepts coming in, but only one drone? Nah. They weren't synced up with the Oracles. I don't think that's a moment where you try to throw those in. As much as you don't really need the Adepts in the later stages of the game, this is a stage where you still want to have them, because now these Lings can come in, they can hit this Nexus. See, he's even whopping in 2 more Adepts, because he needs them. That could have been Stalkers. But the Stalkers are not gonna be enough against those Lings. So he kinda needs the Adept, because they can shoot 2-shot, of course, right? Oh, he's eating a lot of damage here on these Oracles. And the Oracle usage, I feel like, has not really been on point as well. So let's see what he's gonna try to do. We do see a charge lot all in here. Templar Archives. It's gonna be charge lot Archon attack. Quite powerful attack. If he can get a sharp timing here, maybe that's all he needs to overpower. And also you kind of want to have a deny on the scouting. There's an overseer though coming in here from the southeast. Can he find what he wants to see? Can he find the Templar Archives? Can he find the Robo Bay? Can you find the extra gateways? Can you find the... I guess you can't see charge, but of course the Twilight. And it seems like he's gonna get a full scout here. That's quite unfortunate for Jumy. It's actually gonna be Storm. This might be a fake. There's the Oracles coming in and gonna snipe 3 drones there on the Geyser. That's quite nice. A little bit of damage. He keeps Reynor's drone count actually quite low, while he has a very good probe count himself. This game, Yumy's macro is actually kind of crazy, I want to say. Or Reynor is kind of slouching a little bit on the macro. I'm not sure. Reynor is going for an aggressive move himself. And this is like a aggressive move. Like, look at this. This is so many cannons. 3 cannons, 3 shield batteries. And he only invested 5 Hydralisks into this one. Like, you don't really see Oracles kill Hydras because there's so low amounts of them. But this is one of those situations where that actually occurred. Is he gonna cancel any of these things? Cancel them. You don't need them. He could have, like, these could have been 6 zealots, right? Or 8 zealots or something for his attack. Now there is the Overseer. It's barely not gonna have enough energy for a Contaminate before Storm finishes, unfortunately, but he can delay +1 weapons, and he's gonna do so. 13 seconds, that's very unfortunate. I wonder how long this lasts. Actually, there's no timer to this. Maybe it says here for 21 seconds, so that's actually quite big. That's 30 seconds more that this ground weapons does take here to finish up. And yeah, Reynor's just shooting at some rocks here. She's kind of faking aggression right now. This is not actually an attack. He just wants to keep the units alive as well, but he's kind of starting to see that he's not really grown at the pace which he needs to grow. 70 probes to 87 drones. Finally, he's kind of outgrowing here, but only a 5th base coming online here. Not really being able to saturate that yet, as it's making. He doesn't really have any double upgrades going. He has 1 upgrade coming in here. And he makes the 2nd evolution chamber right now, and then we see only a fleet beacon and a nexus come in. So Jumy has been keeping on producing probes like a madman, and he's basically just going into charge lot Storm. Charge lot Storm, Immortals, a few Stalkers. They don't have blink, so if Reynor would have pulled out the Spire again, this would have been a terrible choice for Jumy, and you kind of would have needed to make a bunch of Phoenix against that, which would have delayed all of the other tech, like the High Templars, and basically like one tactical approach for a Zerg macro idea would be you want to make like 7 Mutalisks again, try to harass the bases, force your opponent into like whatever, 4 Phoenix or so, right? Because he only has 4 Stalkers right now, and that's all of his entire, and they don't have blink. So to chase down the Mutas, he needs to have something else, which would be Phoenix at this stage, because he has a Stargate. And what you do in that time is you reduce all the gas that goes into the High Templars at this stage of the game, and you reduce the storm, so you would just go into your Ling Hydra attack, and you could have maybe crushed a base with that, with a nice sharp timing. But yeah, of course this is not the case here, and Reynor is gonna go for a very, very big drop into the main base, it looks like. There's gonna be this 1 photon cannon to try to deal with this, and in the meantime he's gonna pressure on the front. I don't think this is a committed attack, because this is mostly Lings. And a couple of nice storms should be enough here. Archons are probably going to deal with those. Very good storm there, actually. Killing a bunch of the Lings. But this is the moment. We do see the big drop coming into the main base. There's so much tech exposed here. Mothership comes in at the perfect time. It's going to cloak the whole thing. Shoot the Overseer with a Mothership, honestly. Like, shoot that Overseer. Man, Storm, I think he did a recall into the main base here, so he's actually dealing with his army very fast, but he will have a tough time defending here on his 4th base. He has a nice setup there, though, and Zealots that were meant for harassment are gonna come for a flank here, really reducing the count. We do see a High Templar unfortunately getting killed off that had maximum energy almost. Could have been 2 storms over here and over there. It would have been enough to clean out this attack, but well, the rest of the army is gonna come over and is gonna get some revenge here. So Mothership is there, we do see the first Tempests, and Reynor has just started his spire. So he's gonna be quite behind there in the tech swaps. Some storms to zone out the Hydras. Oh, that's a good one in the north there. Can he have one more follow-up storm there? Unfortunately, he does not have any energy left, any High Templars left there, but he still pushes this away, loses the Oracle though. Reynor is sniping high-value targets, but this is not really working. He has Adrenal Glands finished up, he's still going with the Hydra research, he is going into another base, he has 90 drones, but this style you kind of want to play with Banes, but he's dumping the gas into Lurkers, and he's not fighting every time with Lurkers, so he's actually taking more inefficient trades than he should have. And if you take a look at the efficiency, it's quite in favor here for Jumy, and I mean, this base, in the end it didn't get broken, so it's been operational the whole time. Full income there. And he's just saying, alright man, you didn't break my base, let's take another one. War Prism is gonna see these links, so he can decide how to deal with those. Gonna be in position, he still has a Zealot here on the left. He's gonna send a few Zealots over there as well to try and harass. That's unfortunate that there's a link scouting, which he kind of did not see, but there, of course, the Zealots are gonna find, well, the army rotating over there. It's another Overlord coming in, Overseer coming in here, but there's no Nidus yet. We do see the War Prism warping a few Zealots into the main, but not enough here to really deal that much damage. It's gonna be recalled. But that means he does not have any recall against this Nidus Worm, and he needs to warp in some units here to deal with this one. I think 3 Zealots might just be enough. Oh, maybe there's gonna be some units popping out. 3 Lurkers, 4 Lurkers, yeah man, and a second Nidus. So there we go, for Jumy underestimating this a tiny bit. One more Zealot might have done the trick there. Unfortunately, he didn't have enough. Now he needs to defend his 4th base. Reynor not committing too hefty though on this location. So in the end, Jumy is kind of clearing. He's dealing with these fires. He needs some frickin' vision. Oh my god, he lost 18 probes. That's quite bad, but he already has a large army. He still has about 70 probes, so it's fine. He has 5 Nexus, so even if he loses 20 probes, he can basically remake those in 4 production cycles, and that's not like you know, too many. It's like what is it, 18 seconds, so it's like a minute and a half, even less. So that's very fast to reestablish if you really want to, right? You don't need to. And that is a terrible engage for those links. And yeah, this whole Ling attack was just fodder into the drain. Another Nidus into the main. Jumy seems not to notice. Unfortunately for him. He's not warping anything here to deal with this. And we see a bunch of links streaming out. Is he gonna recall? No, he's gonna warp in units. Maybe a DT shrine would be nice at this point. You know, you can warp in like 1 or 2 DTs or a DT and a Zealot to just deal with these Nidus worms. The DTs are going to be fine against whatever comes out as well, because they will just shoot them down without that Overseer in a close location. But it's just a few links. They weren't really controlled perfectly. They don't have any armor upgrades, of course. And they're just 2-shot by those Zealots. Oh, some decent storms here, and he still has a bunch left. Can he make something happen with this army? We do have a War Prism here on the right. Is it gonna be taken out by these Corruptors? Seems like that's the case. But does Reynor actually have anything to deal with this? With his army, he needs to make this Lurker defense happen. But this is so many Archons, man. We're looking at 8 Archons, that's quite a bunch. This War Prism actually was not killed off, so it's starting to warp in units into the main base. The first base has been killed off here from Reynor, and there's still so much storm to work with. For Jumy, can he make this happen? He's losing some Archons on the left side, unfortunately. Getting sniped by only links. But this is so many Tempests, 6 Tempests and 4 Carriers actually. So how is Reynor gonna deal with this army? Only Hydralisks? He only has 3. He only has 2 Corruptors, which did not kill this War Prism. I mean, now they're kind of going back and forth. Looks like Reynor just made the wrong composition here, and Yumy's air transition is just uncontested. Maybe he can just push through. The snowball is starting to happen. There's nothing really that seems to be able to deal with this in the air. 14 Corruptors finally finished up, but they only have +1 armor. And on the other side, we already have +2 damage for our air units there. Of course, there's still the Archons with the +2 as well below though. And we do have +1 plasma shields as well. There's still storms to work with. So this army is just looking kind of unbeatable right now. 14 Corruptors is not going to be enough. And yeah, I don't think your 9 Ultralisks are going to help you that much in this case. Dark Shrine coming up. Blink coming up. Speed for Void Rays. And he's making more Void Rays. Please take another base as well. That's the only thing I'm kind of hoping that he fixes in this situation. But as you can see here, pushing in, he might just be able to push through before the Ultralisks can assemble here. There's no chitinous plating done yet. +3 air weapons about to finish up, but he just recalls. Might be a brilliant move. Now he has to make a stand. Like, Reynor needs to get something done. Oh, loses another base. So Reynor lost 4 bases. He's down to 3 bases. He's almost at no mining. This is a very, like, he has 1 kind of base worth of mining, maybe a tiny bit more. I guess more in gas, but not that much in minerals. 1.5 base kind of worth of mining here. And yeah, Jumy, he still has these bases, which are still fresh. These are still running. They're not fresh, but they're not mined out yet. And even the main base still has a little bit to work with. I guess it's just about to deplete though, but he has that maxed army still, and he's starting to build a bank. If you can kill this base, maybe, but there's the Void Rays coming in. Maybe not enough Void Rays yet, but actually they're starting to overpower those Corruptors quite easily. Turning around now. But unfortunately, he spreads the damage, only kills 1 Void Ray there. A few Lings coming in, trying to nip at these probes again. He's gonna kill some of them, but I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. He has still 70 probes, and that's more than enough here. He needs to establish another base. There we go, Nexus coming up finally here for Jumy. Can he throw down here as well, please? I hope he remade a War Prism. We don't have one right now. Oh, there it is. What am I saying? It just flies in. So there's a Warp Prism again for the extra warp bins. He's maxed right now, so he doesn't really have anything to deal with this. And the Lynx are again running into the natural base, but this is Ultralisks against the full-fledged air army. I don't think you're gonna win that. You only need to win the air fight here. And yeah, there's just not enough Corruptors. I mean, 8 Corruptors, 2 Vipers are not gonna be enough, and Jumy is finally gonna take a map. Very well played by him. It feels so like Reynor did overestimate his powers. He did not do enough damage. The army was never really dealt with from the Protoss, and he didn't have the correct unit set to deal with what Jumy was building. And that's sometimes all you need as the Protoss player. He didn't have the Vipers fast enough. For ire, of course, yes, and that's when the Protoss can just overwhelm if he has the air army that's not being counted, I guess. It's when you have a lot of fun with Protoss, you know. When the lasers are shooting down everything. Okay, so very nice though to see Jumy take a map here in this set. Mothership is gonna be the next map. Mothership Ladder Edition. Place supply depots in narrow areas to block enemy access to your base. Lower them when the loading screen goes away. So 2-to-1. Let's hop into this next one. Can Jumy tie the series up? Spawning here in the bottom of Mothership, and in the top left position we do have Reynor, of course. He only needs 1 to close this out. Could go for a crazy all-in. Doesn't really need to play the long game. He still has a map to throw away technically. But he can also just keep on playing his style. I really want to see him do some muta stuff though, because the things that Jumy has been doing, it's really not been anti-muta at all. Like, let's go back a little bit through the series. So in the first map we did have a 8 muta commitment from Reynor, and that completely blindsided Jumy. And in the end, he was able to kill like 24 props in total, eventually with those mutas just swooping in one again and again. And there were blink stalks to deal with that. In the second map, we didn't have any mutalisks, but there was also nothing. There was no blink even. There was only charge. There was no blink. There was no phoenixes, of course. So there wasn't even anything to deal with mutas if they would have been there. And in the third map, also again, blink came in extremely late. And then of course he went eventually into the air fleet. But before that there was a very long period again where he didn't really have any tools to deal with potential mutas. Now, does that mean that this is gonna be a free win if he goes mutas? No, I don't think so, but it does not seem that Jumy has been really kind of prepared to deal with them if he does not get the scout at the perfect time. So this game, by the way, I think he went for a Nexus first. He's going to go into a double gate follow-up here and is going to throw down a cybernetics core, of course, to complete his wall. So that's a nice greedy little approach here that he kind of got away with. Now he should go into a double adept, and that is either going to be for some harassment or he can just use it to really propel himself into a very fast 3-base setup. He's not gonna have the Stargate for that one though. So let's see where he goes with this. I mean, he can just go into the Stargate, of course, go into the double adept. He's going into a Stalker and into Warp Gate. Are we gonna see a Twilight opening? He has a bunch of gas though. You can just throw down a Stargate with this as well. Going into Adept next. He's kind of mineral staffed at this point still. There is the Twilight though. So it's not gonna be a Stargate, Twilight opening. That means we should see... Oh, he just barely misses the Overlord. I can't believe it. Or did he see it maybe? He does not click the Stalker into the main base. He does do it now. But if Reynor gets a scout on this, it's a Twilight into a Robo. That's kind of telegraphing a little bit of an early attack. Now there's the Stalker. I think it might have glimpsed the Overlord, but maybe not. And he's not patrolling it correctly. There is a space you can move through. Look at that. The Overlord. It's going into the fire. It's cooking right now. It's cooking up a strategy how to move into the base. And it is an Adept Glaive opening. 4 more gates being thrown down. It's gonna be a total of 6. The Robo, of course. And yeah, no Nexus at this time says like, hey man, are you doing something sneaky? He sees 2 Adepts at the front. There's already a big tell, I feel like. I'm not sure if I really like the actual approach. He's trying to hit a very sharp timing. But in the end, it might just be... Oh my god, he's going in. And he doesn't see it. Now he sees it. It might be a very sharp timing. But it's a very committed one at that as well. Now, already killing 1 Adept. That's definitely worth it here. A little bit of a disaster. The scout does go off. He sees all of these gateways. He sees Twilight Council being chrono boosted. He does not see the Robo unit, but he does see the chrono, of course, on that one as well. Now he should see the Warp Prism, so he knows the angle that's coming in. And he does see the Adepts shading across as well. Stalker staying at home, so he now needs to commit another Warp in at home. There's going to be 2 Adepts that are going to not be there in the frontal attack. There's the shield battery behind, warping in here, so this is gonna be safe, but yeah, that's 2 less Adepts here. So from these 11, there's only 9 across the map right now. And what's gonna be your follow-up, Jumy? Like, there's no drones here. Reynor did see this in time. So honestly, you don't have to commit, you can just stay back. You see these roaches, you see no drones here. There's 17 over here. It's not like he's super oversaturated. He's going in with a Warp Prism in the main, but that doesn't really do anything. He's throwing down a Dark Shrine. Okay, so... Oh, I didn't actually see that. He's already finishing that one up. So he's really going double down here. No way! He shades into the bulk of the links, loses a bunch of Adepts, needs to warp out, teleport back. At least he keeps most of those alive. He's gonna throw down another Gas Geyser. And he starts to trade with the Adepts. Sorry, with the... DTs, There's no detection, by the way, here on this base. He did not scout that, unfortunately for him. And there's no lair, right? So there's no overseers. There's only spores, and if he could have sniped this spore and just forced Reynor to relocate the spore, but yeah. This is eventually gonna transition into an Archon drop here, I feel like. But not throwing down a Nexus yet. He's actually making 2 additional gates. Looks like he wants to really double down and make an attack happen again. There's the DTs, he's still keeping them as DTs. Not sure what he's doing with these adepts. They're kind of split up. 2 are just getting caught here right now, like butterflies. And now the DTs walk in, they see the lair being done, and then just walk into a surround where 1 is gonna die. There's the second prison, by the way, here in the north, and the adepts are just shooting at roaches right now. They need to evacuate, walk back. Go away, go home. So he loses all adepts. He loses ADT, he loses kind of this idea of the double prism because it's revealed. 3 Archons. Warps in 1 Stalker's like, no, I kind of wanted something different. Then he says like, alright, let's warp in 4 Adepts somewhere else. At home, I guess? He warped in 4 Adepts, he's making Immortals and Adepts, yeah. Immortal, Adept, Archon. But this army is so low, so small, right? It's 43 army supply against almost 80 here from Reynor. And that's about to be +1 roaches. I mean, +1 is far away. Speed is gonna be there. And roaches are just going to be good against Archons. They're not gonna be good against Immortals, of course, but against Archons they're gonna be fine. And especially if the Archons just walk into the roach fire like that, that's gonna be nice. Already a good start here to the engage for Reynor. Second War Prism is just hanging about, and he's gonna try to multitask this. But the Spore is already relocating himself there to be annoying. Now Prism coming in. He's gonna drop the 2 Adepts, shoots a Ling, and then he picks up again, goes into the main base. Rotating here to the north though. Reynor did not catch this army movement, so maybe he can kill the base. I don't think Reynor's gonna be in position. War Prism got sniped, but not before warping in 3 more Adepts. And he's gonna try to shade them around here, but they're not really finding a good angle. Because the army is just at home. But of course the army was at home, so this base here in the north got killed off. The roach is gonna die. And, well, this is only 2 Immortals, this is not enough. There's Ravagers with this, so the force fields are gonna be broken. The Archons are in the back, that's not really where they wanna be. And this is not enough firepower to deal with so many roaches. Reynor about 120 army supply here, 33 roaches is almost max roach supply. And only 40 army supply here left over for Jumy. Can he make this happen? He's warping in more and more depths. The Warp Prism is gonna get sniped. Oh no, it survives. The bile's missing there. But yeah, like this army's just walking away. It doesn't even stand to fight. It's just walking away. We're only operating on 2 bases. Jumy is freaking dead, ladies and gentlemen. Two Immortals here and Dream. The Warp Prism. Recall. This is going from bad to worse. Can he... He's actually killing his own gateway because... I don't know why. Because he's fighting roaches. And his adept range... I think the range is worse. It's 4 against 4. So they have the same range. Adepts and roaches. Of course adepts are smaller than roaches. So they're not that terrible. But yeah. You can see what's happening on the screen here. I think... Unfortunately for Jumy, his dream is over and Reynor is gonna take the series there.